All right. In the previous episode, we talked about 6 reasons. Well, 3 of the reasons, and in the episode before that, 3 others. So in the recent 1-2 punch, 6 reasons that people don't buy your stuff. And you might remember we ended up on that last one saying, hey, you know what? It might be that they don't yet believe you can do it. Like you just don't have credibility in that field. And if you're going to do the business side of it, like you've got to have credibility with whatever it is that you're training people to do, whether you're coaching them to lose weight, coaching them to get fit, whether you're teaching them to write a book, you're teaching them about spiritual health or emotional growth, or you're counseling them, or whatever it is that you're doing, like they've actually got to believe that you can do it, especially in the idea space, especially when it's not even just personal interaction driven. It's like on-demand courses, or it's group coaching type, when there's not just kind of this closer one-to-one, they don't really know you, they're taking action. Well, today that really leads us into this. I'm going to talk about 4 business concerns. And what you're going to see is that even though you want to do the business side of it, even though you want to earn a revenue, money may be your most obvious need, but it's not the biggest need. Money may be the most obvious concern, but it's not the greatest concern. We're not saying we don't need money. After all, that is part of the business side. There's actually a verse in the book of Ecclesiastes where Solomon, he's probably being somewhat sarcastic, but it's probably true. He says, wine makes the heart merry, and money is the answer for everything. Okay, well, money's not bad. It's neutral. You can use it for harmful purposes or good purposes. You need some of it, but it's not the biggest concern. Today, we're going to place that in this talk in the proper perspective. Here it is. Money isn't your biggest issue, even if it is an issue. As always, take a look at the show notes. There are some next best steps there for you. All right, practical tips to increase business revenue. This is going to be a talk about understanding branding, marketing, and advertising. 3 different unique factors that fit together, as well as the importance of reputation, results, and reach. And I'm going to say that particularly as those 3 relate to revenue. So reputation, results, and reach as it relates to revenue, which is right here in the title of this module. Now, just kind of a clarification, this should be considered part 2 of building your business plan. And so you probably have seen, you got access to building a business plan to grow, how to project revenue, how to determine how many products and programs you need to sell, and the number of leads it takes to actually get there. This module was created on the back end of that, where you really start building out spreadsheets and talk about, okay, I want to hit a certain dollar amount. How do I get there? And I really thought, I didn't want that one just to be all numbers. So I thought, okay, we need something to kind of balance that. So let's come in and talk about the other concerns that we have when it relates to revenue, which are right here, reputation, results, and reach. And let's frame this really kind of as a 1-2 punch. So that module, watch that one, listen to that first, and then come back to this if you got time to do that. So let's get started. Here is the overview of this module. This is what you'll learn in this training. 6 different facets to it. You are going to understand when you're done what branding, marketing, and advertising are. You're going to understand how marketing affects your brand. So how does marketing affect brand reputation? 4 concerns in business related to growing your revenue. And then we're going to highlight the correct order in which to focus on those 4. So how do we tackle them? Then we're going to move into, all right, you got all that down. What do people need to know in order to do business with you? And then I'm going to highlight the importance of differentiating yourself, how and why the differentiation matters. All of this, again, practical tips to increase business revenue. So the first of these six that we need to move through is distinguishing marketing from branding and advertising. So when people think about increasing business revenue, they usually consider marketing and sales only. In fact, that is the first place and the last place to which they go. However, there are three terms that we need to clarify here: branding, marketing, and advertising. Branding is what people think about when they think about you. Branding is your reputation. Branding is what people think about you. It is your reputation. Now, just kind of as a footnote right here, really just kind of a side system we want to pull in. There is another module where we talk about the importance of core values and why you should go begin making, not necessarily publishing immediately, why you need to start crafting those core values immediately. The core values are something that can help drive your reputation. They are something that can help drive the brand. The brand is not your colors. The brand is not your logo. The brand is not your fonts. All of those help comprise the look and the feel and the reputation and what people think about you. They're all elements of that. But again, at the base level, the brand, it's what people think about when they think about you. It is your reputation. When we get into marketing, marketing is really going to be your plan. Marketing is your plan for getting your message in front of people and asking for the sale. So it involves strategies and it involves systems, both. Okay, so to be clear, marketing, getting your message in front of people and asking for the sale, it involves your strategy. That's the plan. It involves systems. Systems are the process to make the plan work. So marketing, again, asking for the sale. Advertising, it's going to be a little bit different than that, because when we get into the world of advertising, that's paid marketing. Okay, so let's separate them again. Branding, what people think about when they think about you. Marketing is getting your message in front of people and actually get to say it right there, asking for the sale. So it involves strategy and systems. A pro tip here is you don't want to just make a plan, develop a strategy from what you learn in these modules. Both are important. You want to make sure you have systems in place. Those are processes to make the magic happen. Your systems can involve technology, they can involve a team, they can involve other contractors, or a combination. So you need a plan to market, you need a strategy to market, you need systems in place, processes to also carry forth with that. And again, advertising right here is going to be paid marketing. So let's do a quick super duper fast review. Branding is your look and feel. It is your reputation. Marketing is asking for the sale. Advertising is paid marketing. So now you know part number one, distinguishing between marketing, branding, advertising. You got the difference on all of these. Okay, so part number two, when it comes to marketing, there are several elements that can affect your brand. So just kind of look back at the graphic here. Branding, it's your look and feel. Marketing is asking for the sale. Advertising is paid marketing. That marketing, how you do that can affect your brand. It can affect your reputation. So we need to understand that there are three types of marketing, and then we need to make decisions that align with your desired brand. You need to understand marketing, and then you need to make decisions about your marketing that align with your desired brand, with your look and feel. So three types of marketing. There is marketing that works. There is marketing that is ethical, and there is marketing that is aligned with your core messaging, with your core reputation, with the brand that you want to create. And again, we've talked about creating this by design, not by default. Let's walk through each of these three. Number one, you have marketing that works. Some of the elements of marketing that works include email. It includes scarcity. meaning you got a limited number of something. It includes timers and countdowns with deadlines. That is all marketing that works. You also have marketing that is ethical. Let me give you an instance on this. False scarcity, in my opinion, is not ethical. You shouldn't say, oh, I've only got 3 of these left, if in fact you've got 30. You shouldn't say, in my opinion, the deadline for this is tomorrow, if in fact the deadline is not tomorrow. You know, if as well as I do, a lot of people just kind of extend the deadline. So again, you got branding that works, you got branding that's ethical, you've got branding that is aligned. Let me give you an example. Social media, text, email, what platforms fit with you. Some of those are going to be aligned with your brand. Some of those are not going to be aligned with your brand. It's going to make sense for you to be in some spaces, not make sense to other places. And so, again, you got branding that works, branding that's ethical, branding that is aligned. You ideally want to find that sweet spot that encompasses all 3 if you intend to play the long game. That means you don't want to just do something that works. Oh, act now, limited time offer, if it's not really a limited time offer. It means you don't want to do something, that's not aligned. It means you don't want to do something that's unethical. It means that sweet spot. So that means there may be things that work in the marketing world that you just say, hey, I'm not going to do that. Like it's ethical, it works, it just doesn't fit who I am. So you might decide, hey, I'm not going to do like scarcity or countdown emails. Now I like them, but you might say, hey, I'm not going to do that. You might say, hey, some of these strategies and tactics that you talk through, like I just don't know. It works, but it's not me. You might say, yeah, I get it. Podcasting, that's a great form of content to get your message out there and to lead people to the next step. It works, but yeah, I'm more of a video person. Or you may say, yeah, I'm not going to do video. I'm just going to do audio. Or you may say, hey, I'm just going to type out some short blog posts and give people a next step to do the opt-in. And then, I'm going to be like, again, you've got to figure out what works for you because all of these, however you do it, is going to affect your reputation. That's going to affect your brand. It is going to affect what people think about your company, your organization, when they think about you. So before moving forward in this area, we want to just highlight and link some important facts here. And the 2 facts are, number 1, you need to market. You need to ask for the sale in order to generate revenue. So you have a brand. That's what you do. That's your look and feel. You've got to, at some point, market and engage with others and ask them to engage your services. You've literally got to ask for the sale in order to grow. So you got to communicate your brand. You got to communicate how to buy. That's the path to experiencing greater revenue. That's the path simplistically to turning a profit while also serving people at a higher level. And there's another important fact at the same time, how you do that, how you promote those products and programs, it will affect your reputation. And so before you move forward and before you go into all this, you built the business plan at the previous module. Now we're working here. You really need to link down and think about, all right, what am I trying to achieve? What does that mean long term? Point number 3. Now, let's highlight 4 business concerns as they relate to growing your revenue. And again, this is going to link back to marketing and to branding. 4 important concerns. Here are the 4 concerns, and this is the order in which we generally obsess about each of them. Number 1, revenue. Number 2, reach. Number 3, results. Number 4, reputation. Let's walk through each of these and briefly define them. Revenue, number 1, it includes income, it includes sales, it includes cash flow. It is the gas in the tank for your business. Number 2, and again, this is the order in which we usually think about these. Number 2 is reach. Reach refers to how many followers that we have on social media. It refers to how many contacts we have on our email list. It refers to how many eyeballs see our posts, see our videos on social media, on YouTube, on all the other places, on our landing pages. That is our reach. Most businesses are concerned with revenue, first of all, and then they're concerned with reach. Now, a note that I put right here in the training module. People get enamored with this one with reach, but for perspective, let me just kind of clarify where you need to be thinking about reach. 1,000 good email addresses, qualified leads who've opted in, who are communicating and connected with you. 1,000 email addresses is far more valuable than 10,000 followers on social media. Existing clients are far more easier to keep and then to elevate up the value ladder or go deeper in your funnel than finding new clients. So for sure, people do need to know about you, but hold this in the correct space. How do you hold it in the correct space? Number one, you need to realize 1,000 good email addresses is far more valuable than 10,000 followers on social media. Social media can be great. It can also be a distraction and a vanity metric. And recognize, as we've talked about in other training, including the three-force multipliers training, we talk about the fact that existing clients, people who are already in your ecosystem, are often they're often more easier to keep and far more easier to elevate up the value ladder than finding new clients. There's already that history, there's already that know, like, and trust factor. So when it comes to reach, don't just get enamored by new people, don't just get enamored by social media. See the bigger picture, hold it all in perspective. All right, so 4 concerns: revenue, reach, and number 3, results. Results really are what happens when people engage your products or your programs. Or to just ask it bluntly, the question is, does your stuff work? Does your framework get results? Does the place, the potential that you said you lead people towards, and the problem that you solve, and the path you outline from point A to point Z, and then the progress points along the way, and all the pits and pitfalls that you tell people to watch out for, does that actually work? And have you packaged it in books, courses, ebooks, audio, training, coaching programs, masterminds, memberships, whatever? Have you packaged it in such a way that people can access it, they can do it, and they move from where they are to where they dream of being? That's results. Now notice this. Another note: reach, that was number 2, is not equal to results. Just because you are connected to people or people are following you doesn't mean you've got great results. People in our age, they equate followers with results. They assume that if a lot of people are following this person, they must have something important to say. Well, my goodness, that's not true. Some of the knuckleheads on social media, and people are, they do crazy things and all of a sudden it goes viral and they got like their 15 minutes of fame and it's over. Reach is and can be fleeting, and reach in the wrong way is not equal to results. Look at these examples that are on the screen for you. I heard someone throw these. I don't remember where it came from, but somebody made the observation Hitler had a massive reach, but horrible results. Reach did not equal good results. Reach did not equal, hey, this stuff works. What he's teaching actually benefits people. It was disastrous. Mother Teresa got to be famous later in her life, but she had a small reach. And the people that she was touching, and doing ministry with, it was a small group of people. Now, she was known all around the world later in her life, but oh man, she had a massive impact, even though she had a small reach. Never on social media, never had an email list, all that. Small reach, massive impact. So don't confuse the two. Here's why, just a pro tip. We often tell people you want to get results. So in the early days, especially in the early days, you need to go for stories of changed lives, not just sales. Make sense? All right, again, 4 concerns in the order we generally obsess about them: revenue, reach, results, reputation. Revenue, reach, results. Let's talk about reputation. Reputation, people think about you. Reputation, what people think about you. And this goes back to the branding issue that we talked about earlier on in this module when we were really highlighting the difference between branding, marketing, and advertising. So again, branding is not a logo. Branding is not a font. It's not a color palette, although those certainly help comprise aspects of your brand. Brand is your reputation. It is what people think about when they think about you. Let me give you a good example. You can be doing the same thing as other people. Your organization can be doing the same thing as other organizations or companies. You can teach the same ideas as other people. In fact, Solomon said there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that's happening right now, it's already been before. There'll be new iterations of things in the future. But the key is going to be, what do people think about when they think about you? That's going to be a differentiator. And it's going to be important as you start reaching to the right people that are your ideal audience, making a connection, and then moving them forward into your framework. Okay. Illustration. If you've ever been to Kentucky Fried Chicken, you know that their chicken probably, and I know, I get it, this is kind of controversial, their chicken tastes better than Chick-fil-A. Just straight up. It's probably healthier than Chick-fil-A's. Chick-fil-A has an immense amount of sugar in their chicken. I like KFC chicken better. However, oh man, the environment of Chick-fil-A is infinitely more awesome than most KFCs that I've been to. And I can't speak for every KFC around the world. I get it. There are hundreds and thousands of KFCs, hundreds and thousands of Chick-fil-A. So I have a very slim way to, very small sampling. But my goodness, they're totally different. In a lot of KFCs you go to that I've been to, you kind of get there and there's somebody, kind of a teenager, probably, on their smartphone behind the counter that looks like you have interrupted their day of surfing through TikTok or social media or just watching little cat videos. You walk in there, like, huh, can I help you? They may say, can I help you? Right? And then, you're kind of served, the food slid across the, table to you, that kind of thing, across the counter. You really kind of got to beg them to give you a napkin. They may or may not have cups there where you get the refill, fill in your soda, your sweet tea, or whatever it is. Some of it may not even be working. Okay, and again, this is just kind of the caricature of the ones that I've seen. The bathroom might or might not be clean. It might be on par with the gas station that's in the middle of slap out nowhere. That's the caricature of KFC. And I kind of feel bad saying it because, like, my dad, he looks like the guy that's on the bucket that, I get as a rendition of Colonel Sanders, but doesn't really look like Colonel Sanders anymore. It looks kind of more like my dad. If you go to Chick-fil-A, they're playing music that most people really don't like. But the environment is so calm and it's so gracious. And yet there's so much energy and so much happiness there that, like, even though, like, I don't think the chicken's as good, even though, like, you get waffle fries instead of, you can get actual vegetables at KFC, but it's a totally different experience. It's like reputation. It's what people think about you. It's not necessarily the thing you do. It's all these, I would say, intangibles, but they're all so weighty and feely. They are tangible. All right, let's roll. Common question. How do these 4 fit together? How does revenue, reach, results, and reputation connect? How do they work? All right, let's do some basic math. Here's how I think they work. The results you get multiplied by the reach that you have, that builds your reputation. So the results, number 3, does your product or program work? Times the reach, so the people that you've touched who follow the framework, not the people who have liked, commented, not the people who've looked at, not the people who, quote, follow. I'm talking about the people who do the stuff, the clients, the customers, the people your ministry touches, like Mother Teresa or your church or the nonprofit that you're running. The results you have multiplied by the people builds your number 4, your reputation. Let's put it together. So if you have no results, you're just getting started, but you got 1,000 people kind of involved in this, 0 reputation. It's just not there yet. Now that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just means, hey, this might be too new or very new to kind of even assess. Now look at the next line. If you got 1,000 people that have results, but there's no reach, there's nobody kind of following, 0 reputation. If you've got 1,000 results and 1 reach, okay, now you got a reputation score of kind of 1. You see how this goes? All of these are important. Results times reach builds your reputation. Now, again, just kind of a note, I want to say this. It might not be that you don't have a negative reputation. I'm not saying that if the score is low, it's a negative. Again, you just might not have one at all yet. People might not know about you. You might be an incredibly great kept secret. Some of the clients that we've worked with are people that you see their stuff and you go, oh, this is awesome. And then you find out they've helped some people. Like they've got some results, but you go, oh man, more people need to know. It's just not out there yet. It's a great secret. Or it could be like you got a great reputation, but you've just been marketing in the wrong space. You've been marketing to a small subset of people, and now you got to get that message to a whole other group of people. So you're not in the wrong space in the sense it's bad people. It's just like there's more people that you got to connect with. And what we say here is if people don't know about you, they can't do business with you, regardless of how great you are, regardless of how incredible your products or programs are. So results, they're important. The reach, it's important. You got to hold it all in perspective, okay? Results times reach equals the reputation. And I know you go, where's the revenue? How does the money fit into all this? Because we just kind of following up on the business plan. All of that leads to revenue. Revenue grows as that reputation grows. You see it?